Okay, this is our second lesson, second sutta. Sutta number 149, page 1137. Majjhima middle length saying, Maha Salayatanika Sutta, the great sixfold base. Okay, as usual, we want to read little by little, piece by piece, and then I will stop you and explain where necessary. Okay, Bhante Saddha is going to start. Let me read first. First part first. Okay, thus have I heard. On one occasion, the Blessed One was living at Savatthi in Jeta's Grove, Anathapindika's park. There he addressed the monks thus, Bhikkhus, Venerable Sir, they replied. The Blessed One said this. This part is very clear. Bhikkhus, I shall teach you a discourse on the great sixfold base. Listen and attend closely to what I shall say. Yes, Venerable Sir, the Bhikkhus replied. The Blessed One said this. Okay, this is clear to everybody, I guess. Bhikkhus, when one does not know and see the I as it actually is, when one does not know and see forms as they actually are, when one does not know and see I consciousness as it actually is, when one does not know and see I contact as it actually is, when one does not know and see as it actually is, the feeling felt as pleasant or painful, or neither painful nor pleasant, that arises with eye contact as condition, then one is inflamed by lust for the eye, for forms, for eye consciousness, for eye contact, for the feeling felt as pleasant or painful, or neither painful nor pleasant, that arises with eye contact as condition. Okay, let's understand this part first. This is the sort of gist of the sutta, actually. Here the Buddha said, third paragraph, Bhikkhus, when one does not know and see, this is the most important point. Two terms, know and see. Without these two words, no vipassana. Know and see. The Pali term for know is janati. Janati. See is passati. One has to know things and see things. Know and see things as they are. That is what Buddha taught. So one has to see things as they are. Yatha bhuta. Yatha bhuta. As they really are. In the All Taints, the discourse name All Taints, second discourse of the Majjhima Nikaya, Buddha said, monks, I teach the destruction of taints for the one who knows and sees, not the person who does not know and does not see. Then he questioned, what should he see, what should he know? Wise attention and unwise attention. That is the importance of see, know and see. So here again, Buddha said, know and see. When one does not know and see the eye, first eye, one has to see the eye and then one has to see the forms. One has to know and see the I consciousness, know and see I contact, know and see I feeling. These are the things to be known and seen. So is this clear?
I have a question. In everyday life, things happen very quickly. Is this meant to mean that we're supposed to kind of separate these things out individually, or is it being just what you might say mindful is what they're referring to?
Mindful. To be mindful of these things. When we see things, we have to understand the I. We have to understand this, we have to have good concentration and insight. Samatha vipassana. That is what is called meditation. Those who do not meditate, they cannot see these things, cannot know these things. They simply see the form and simply grasp it, attached to the forms. But those who meditate, those who have developed concentration and insight, they can understand. When they see things, they can understand here is the I. There is a form. Like this is not mere the connection of these two, but there should be a consciousness. Without consciousness we cannot see. And not only these three, we should have this meeting of the three and contact and feeling. It is because of feeling we can understand that object as perception. That is how perception takes place. So these are to be understood. So we to understand when we observe things, we have to understand the I as it is. As it is the important thing. What do you mean by as it is? If you see things as it is, how should you see it? What is the nature? As it is. Three characteristics.
Yeah.
What do you mean by three characteristics? Vipassana. Vipassana. Three characteristics mean vipassana. So, if you see, the Buddha said, when one does not know and see the I as it actually is, does not know the ear, nose, tongue, body and mind as they are. Not only that, they are concomitant factors. Concomitant factors means the external factor, the consciousness, contact, feeling, like that. All these are to be seen as they are. In other words, we have to understand the I as impermanent, unsatisfactory, without a self. Form is impermanent, unsatisfactory, without a self. I consciousness, impermanent, unsatisfactory, without a self. Then contact, impermanent, unsatisfactory, without a self. Feeling, impermanent, unsatisfactory, without a self. Like that. We have to understand, not simply understand. We have to understand means we have to know this theoretically also. If you do not know theoretically, how can you understand this thing? Now, for the first time we read this from the word of the Buddha. Have you ever read this in science? In other place? In any other subject? We all have learned many different subjects, but nowhere.
Well, sometimes just in baseball, I mean, this is kind of cute, but they say keep the eye on the ball. And how else are you going to hit it out of the ballpark?
Yeah, that is the problem. not only baseball, even daily life, we say that keep on eye. Keep on eye. If you want to keep something with a person, you say, please keep on eye. That is what we normally say. But they don't know what they say. They do not know what they say. Like Jesus said, they do not know what they do.
Well, they got the first one, form. Forming.
So the Buddha has taught us these different things, different factors for the perception. For the perception to take place, these are the things. There are like I, form, then consciousness, contact, feeling, perception, intention, and then craving, like that. In other discourses, Buddha has given 10 different factors. For instance, in the Maha Sutta, that is how things become like 6 multiplied by 10. 6 different factors. 60 different, not 6 set 6. That is 6. 6 set 10. Like that. So Buddha has explained all these different things. Only the Buddha can do that, because only those who have a developed mind based on serenity and insight can explain these things. That is the meaning. I want to explain a little bit about consciousness here. When the Buddha said, I consciousness. Consciousness, the other day also we talked a little bit about consciousness. Consciousness is our mind. Some people believed that consciousness is transmigrating from birth to birth. Even Sati, in the Maha Sutta, he said this same consciousness, same consciousness is transmigrating, going from birth to birth, same consciousness. It is a wrong view. But even today, some people believe this consciousness is going from birth to birth. When we die, what happened? Our consciousness goes to other body. Or sometimes you might have heard Alaya Vijnana. Alaya Vijnana is in Mahayana tradition. They use the word Alaya Vijnana. Consciousness, which is a permanent consciousness, like permanent thing, like alone. Consciousness alone is going. That is what it means. But Buddha said, no. Consciousness is one. Even though we talk about 6 classes of consciousness, we have only one consciousness. Consciousness is one. But when it is connected to different bases, the name is given. That is what happens. When it is connected to I, it is called I consciousness. When it is connected to ear, it is called ear consciousness. When it is connected to nose, it is called nose consciousness. But we have no 6 consciousnesses. 6 classes of consciousness means the 6 names are given to the same consciousness. Like of the 5 aggregates, form, feeling, perception, volitional formation and consciousness. Consciousness is one. Referring to these 5 aggregates, we find it. Consciousness is one. It is the consciousness going. It is going from birth to birth is correct. We can say that, but we should not forget that it is moving. It is the energy, a sort of energy. Consciousness means energy, not only consciousness. All other things are energy. So all these five aggregates, not only consciousness, but 5 aggregates moving from one place to another place where we leave behind is this gross form here. But subtle forms are there together with these four: feeling, perception, volitional formation and consciousness. There should be subtle forms. Otherwise, it is impossible. It is against the teaching of the Buddha. What teaching? Dependent origination. According to the dependent originations, Nama cannot exist alone. Nama exists with Rupa. All the time Nama exists with Rupa. Rupa exists, Rupa and Nama exist together. And Nama Rupa exists together with Vijnana, consciousness. Therefore, we have to understand consciousness. Buddha has said this clearly. If you want to refer the discourse named Seed Sutta, Seed in Connected Discourses. I guess it is in Khanda Samyutta, aggregates, chapter, aggregates. Yeah?
The aggregates, so they carry the karma?
Yeah.
So they are the ones that carry karma over?
Yeah. Karma, where is karma? When you live here, where is your karma? You leave behind the aggregate, which is this form aggregate, which is the gross form, this fleshy, this what you call corporeality. You leave behind that. And then you have subtle forms. And then you have feeling, perception, volitional formations and consciousness. This is the one. Volitional formation. That is what you call karma. That is, you can say karma khanda. Karma khanda. Karma khanda and sankhara khanda the same.
Okay.
So your karma is restored there when you go to another place. But when you go, when your mind is transmigrate, means not like a permanent entity. That is to be very clearly understood. It is an energy. All these are energy, of course. All these are energy. They change all the time. That is why you cannot say that exact consciousness is going there. It is neither the same nor different. That's how you to understand. If it is a completely different thing, it is all right. You do bad deeds, good deeds, bad deeds, whatever you do here. Say, for instance, the person who is doing all sort of bad things, and eventually he is not responsible for that. His consciousness, when it reaches to the another place, then it is not the same. So it's not the same person is not going to reap the result. But it is not the teaching of the Buddha. Buddha's teaching is very clear. Okay, then these 6 bases should be understood. Know and see. That is the meaning. If we do not understand what happens, Buddha explains here. In the same paragraph, towards the end, the Buddha said, then one is inflamed. If we do not know and see the I, if you do not know and see the I as it is, form as it is, consciousness as it is, contact as it is, feeling as it is, what happens? Then one is inflamed by lust for the I, inflamed by lust. Then for forms, for eye consciousness, for eye contact, for the feeling felt as pleasant or painful, or neither painful nor pleasant. That arises with eye contact as condition. That is what happens. If we do not know and see as they are, then we are inflamed by lust. That is what we have drawn here. Mike helped me yesterday to draw this. Thank you, Mike.
My pleasure.
So this is what happened if you do not know. This is the origination of existence. If you do not know and see, start to inflamed by lust. When one abides inflamed by lust, then what will happen? Then fettered, infatuated, contemplating gratification, then the five aggregates affected by clinging are built up for oneself in the future. Is it clear? Now, if you cannot understand the I and all these things as they are, then we are inflamed by lust. Saratta. Saratta. Ratta means heated up. Ratta. Saratta. Lust. Heated up with what? By what? By lust. Kama. By lust. Then as the result, Sangyukta. Fettered. Sangyukta. And also infatuated. Samulha. Samulha. Samulha, not Samulha. Samulha means deluded. Infatuated. Deluded. We have no mindfulness. No mindfulness. As the result, this is what is happening. Start to contemplate upon what? Gratification. We try to gratify our I. Gratification of I. We try to gratify with the object. We contemplate. We try to think of what is to be done, how things to be done, which type of things to be done, like that. Start to contemplate upon that. Suppose it's a beautiful, it's a so attractive things, then all these also come there. What are the things come? Bodily and mental troubles. Daratha is mentally, physically. We have fever, like heated up the body. We want. How should I get this? Like, Dartha means trouble or fatigue, mental and physical fatigue. The Pali term is Daratha. And then bodily and mental torments. Bodily and mental torments. Santapa. The Pali term is Santapa. If you like, you can write down the Pali term as well. Santapa. Bodily and mental torments. That is mental, physical pressure. Torment is pressure. Then bodily and mental fevers. Fever, you know what fever is. It's like because of temperature, shivering. Not only temperature, shivering, like. Because you want to do something. You want to engage. You want to fettered here, that means engage again. You want to engage with it. You want to taste it. Taste the object. You want to do something. It is because of not knowing, not seeing things as they really are. You do not see that it is impermanent. You do not see that it is unsatisfactory. But always you think that it's permanent, it is satisfactory. It's myself. It's me. I want to do that. I want to do that. So when we have inflamed by lust, we have fettered, it is we engage in, and then infatuated, and as the results, contemplate to gratify these senses. Sensual gratification, that is what is called sensual gratification. Sensual, eventually it ends up with sensual indulgence. What is that? Sensual indulgence. Kama sukalli kanu yoga, it is an extreme. Buddha said, sensual indulgence is an extreme.
He uses clinging and craving. Are these
Where?
referring to different?
Clinging and craving?
Uh-huh.
Where?
In the paragraph, the paragraph you're reading, the third sentence.
Uh,
Then the five aggregates affected by clinging are built up for oneself in the future, and one's craving. Clinging, craving, they seem...
yeah. We are going to come to that.
Right there.
We are going to come to that. Okay, wait.
Okay.
Okay. When one abides inflamed by lust, fettered, infatuated, contemplating gratification, then what happens? Then the five aggregates affected by clinging are built up for oneself in the future. What is the difference between five aggregates and five aggregates affected by clinging? What is the difference?
Well, the five aggregates with clinging are the ones that are contaminated by the clinging, by the craving. And the five aggregates, the Buddha had five aggregates, but they were pure. They were pure aggregates, functioning aggregates. But the clinging are the ones that are infected.
Okay.
Yeah.
Five aggregates simply, we have to understand simply, we all have five aggregates of clinging. Five aggregates affected by clinging. As unenlightened persons. Enlightened persons, they have simply five aggregates. That is the difference. We have to clearly show the difference. We should know clearly the difference between the two. Five aggregates, what we unenlightened persons have five aggregates affected by clinging. Clinging is upadana. Somebody asked the difference, right? Yeah. Clinging means upadana. Upadana, here it means, the term is upadi. Upadi means five aggregates. We cling to these five aggregates. Upadi here in this case, we cling to five aggregates. Upadana kanda. Upadana kanda. These are called upadana kanda. Pancha upadana kanda. Then what happens, as we don't know and see what happens, we build up for one in the future existence. We increase the future existences. That is the meaning. We come to, now you see, when we do not see clearly, we do not know clearly, we have I, form, I consciousness, I contact, I feeling. These are given in the Sutta. Now what happens after that? When we have I feeling, it is because of feeling, craving arises. Right? If you think of Paticcasamuppada, dependent origination, feeling arises, then craving arises. When there is craving, clinging arises, attachment arises. Clinging arises there. Upadana. Then upadana, clinging, leads to existence. Can you see the connection? Existence. It leads to existence. Renewal existence. That is what is called renewal existence. And once craving and clinging, now there are both. Craving and clinging. Craving and clinging both are, what happens? They bring renewal of being. Renewal of beings means renewal of existence. The word here used for existence is being. Being. Which one is more clear to you? Being or existence? More. Is there any preference? Huh? Which one gives proper meaning? Being or existence?
Being.
Being?
No, being. You think of existence like ants and everything, but with being, it's like that's what you want to focus on. Your being.
Renewal of being.
Yeah, that is the problem. That is the problem of translations. I mean, how can a translator do that for all people to understand the same thing? It's not that translating is not that easy from any language. It's not that easy.
When you understand it in context, understanding it in context, especially with origination, it just fits. It's right there.
Yeah, you have to understand according to that context. So, however, here the term used is being. Renewal of being means renewal of existence. Now, existence takes place how? That is all to be understood. Now, no, we don't talk about good or bad, suffering or satisfactory. We simply talk about existence of beings, existence of things. Even existence of things is clear. All things exist because of 5 elements. Because of 5 elements, things exist. Earth, water, fire, air, and space. Because of these 5, things exist. But being, when you call a being, animal, animate things, there is consciousness. Then 6 elements. So whenever we talk about a being, that means 6 type of elements.
So
Yes.
it's not the I craving, which brings renewal of being. I think I was thinking of that. The I craving brings renewal of being, but I craving brings suffering. And so I was equating the renewal of being with suffering, because I craving brings the suffering. And so it also brings renewal of being.
Go hand in hand.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true. Good point. Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
You want to ask something?
Yeah. Like celestial beings.
Yeah.
Are also beings.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
They also have the same six elements.
Yeah.
Their form elements is subtle. That is the difference. Just like the form elements that you leave behind here, then yours are the subtle forms. Right? Just like a celestial being. You can go through.
So does that mean that they have a different type of craving?
No, craving, all beings have the
No,
same craving.
I understand that all beings have craving.
Yeah.
But because of celestial beings are in a different realm.
Yeah, well, their craving is different because they have refined mind. That is why they are born over there.
Right.
Huh?
So yeah. So it makes sense.
When your mind is heavy with stuff, with defilements, you go down.
Right.
When the mind is lighter, you go up. That's the difference. So renewal existence takes place because of 9 factors. 9 factors means this mentality and physicality. Because of mentality and physicality, renewal existence takes place. What is that? Physical and mental existence. Physical and mental existence is called renewal existence. Sansara. That is called sansaric chakra. Sansaric cycle. That sansaric cycle is formed with these 9 factors. What are the 9 factors? 10 factors. Feeling, perception, volitional formation, contact, attention. 5. These are called mentality. And then physicality, 4 elements, physicality. Then 9. Mentality and physicality only cannot exist. Mentality is not perfect without consciousness. You see, consciousness is not there. Can you understand what I say? Now, like this, I'll draw a small circle like here. This is consciousness. That part is consciousness. This is mentality. This is physicality. Mentality, there are five factors. Physicality, 4 factors. And then consciousness. This is what is called Namarupa and Vijnana. In Pali, Namarupa and Vijnana. Namarupa Pacchaya Vijnanam, Vijnana Pacchaya Namarupa. That is how existence takes place. Depending on each other. That is what is called Sansaric Chakra. That is how we are born again and again. As long as this chakra is revolving, we are in samsara. That is the way. Chakra is revolving because of consciousness and physicality, mentality. Any question?
That concept is what continues existence for beings in samsara, time after time after time. Within that, you say a being has 6 elements?
Yeah.
So where are the 6 elements distinguished from the 10 that we see?
4 here.
Mm-hmm.
4 elements
Mm-hmm.
cannot exist without space. 4 elements, when you say 4 elements like 4 bricks,
Mm-hmm.
4 bricks cannot move. If you put 4 bricks together, cannot move. Right? Mm-hmm. But these 4 elements are like 4 oranges. In order to move, there should be a space. That is how things are interdependently existing. This is what is called interdependently. Interdependently existing. Things exist interdependently. Now here, there is a space. But we don't think of space. We think only about books and cells like that. So all over, space is the more in the world. Space is the more. But space is an element, different element. Buddha has talked this. Buddha has talked only of these 5 elements. If you want to read the Sutta from Anguttara 3, there is a discourse, sectarianism. The name of the sutta is sectarianism. 3 types of sects the Buddha gave by the time of the Buddha. there were 3 types of sects. Where Buddha gave these 6 elements. Buddha said, what I teach is this. What I taught you, the 6 elements, 4 noble truths, 6 senses like that. Buddha explained what the Buddha taught us.
So 4 elements plus space and consciousness.
Consciousness.
That's the being.
Yeah. So when you say 4 elements plus consciousness, we should not forget, without consciousness, no mentality. Mentality means consciousness. Mentality we cannot talk about mentality without consciousness. But mentality is not consciousness.
Yes.
That is the subtle thing to understand. Say, feeling is not consciousness. It's because of consciousness there is feeling. But feeling is not consciousness. Perception, volitional formation, volitional formation, contact and attention. These are not consciousness. These are not consciousness. That is the point where Abhidhamma talked differently. Abhidhamma tries to explain that 5 aggregates like this. Form aggregate is physicality and the other 4 aggregates are mentality. That is how it is explained. But when you say mentality, there is consciousness here. When you say consciousness, when you say mentality, there is consciousness here. According to the Paticca Samuppada, which is wrong. Because mentality and physicality should depend interdependently, exist interdependently. That interdependency is not there. Is it clear? Okay. Then this renewal existence brings renewal existence. Upachaya angachati. Bring more and more. Upachaya angachati. Brings more and more. Is accompanied by delight. How this renewal existence takes place? By delight and lust. Delight and lust. This is the first thing the Buddha said. How this renewal existence takes place. In his very first discourse, Buddha talked about craving, where he pointed out 3 types of craving. Then the Buddha said, Nandi raga sahagata. Nandi is delight. Lust is raga. Nandi raga sahagata, together with lust and delight in this and that. You cling this and that means you cling to this existence, that existence, 31 different realms. You cling to these places and existence takes place in different realms. And not only existence increases, it is said increases. Pavaddati, increases. One's bodily and mental troubles increase, one's bodily and mental torments increase, one's bodily and mental fevers increase, and one experiences bodily and mental suffering. That is what happens when you do not know and do not see things as they really are, as they actually are. That is referring to the I. Then likewise, when one does not know and see. Pante, you want to read? This one? Little bit, yeah.
Okay.
When one does not, last para.
When one does not know
and see the ear as it actually is, when one does not know and see the nose as it actually is, when one does not know and see the tongue as it actually is, when does not know and see the body as it actually is, when one does not know and see the mind as it actually is, one experiences bodily and mental suffering. Okay, so that's all other senses are the same, right? Mm-hmm. It's clear, right? Okay, now let's come to the opposite. Bante.
Bhikkhus, when one knows and sees the eye as it actually is, when one knows and sees forms as they actually are, when one knows and sees eye consciousness as it actually is, when one knows and sees eye contact as it actually is, when one knows and sees as it actually is the feeling felt as pleasant or painful or neither painful nor pleasant, that arises with eye contact as condition, then one is not inflamed by lust for the eye, for forms, for eye consciousness, for eye contact, for the feeling felt as pleasant or painful or neither painful nor pleasant, that arises with the eye contact as condition.
That is the opposite, right? When we see, when we know and see the eye as it actually is, what happens? Not only eye, the form, consciousness, contact, feeling. When we know and see this as they actually are, is not inflamed by lust. This one, the other way around. Uninflamed by lust. If you want to, you can write down the terms. Uninflamed by lust. It's opposite. This is inflamed by lust. Uninflamed by lust. Not inflamed, uninflamed. Uninflamed.
She was adding the A in front.
Would it be asarata?
Asaratta, yeah, very good. Asaratta. No, flaming. No heating. Asaratta. Inflamed, uninflamed by lust. Then what is that? Fettered. What happened to fetters? If you see as they are, it is unfettered. What is the Pali word? Asamyutta. Asamyutta. Then infatuated. What happens to that? Uninfatuated. What is the word? Pali word. Asammulha. Asammulha. Mulha is become deluded. Then contemplating gratification. What happened to this then? Now, when we understand things as they are, what would happen? Here it is asadanupassino viharati. Gratification. Is that gratification? What will happen? What will happen?
Danger.
Yeah, we see danger. Yeah. We see the danger of it. Gratification. Danger. You see the arising, appearance, disappearance, danger. Like that. You see that positive side. That is the cessation of existence. That is the cessation of existence. This is the origination. The cessation is the other way around. Okay, can you read a little bit?
When one abides uninflamed by lust, unfettered, uninfatuated, contemplating danger, then the 5 aggregates affected by clinging are diminished for oneself in the future. And one's craving, which brings renewal of being, is accompanied by delight and lust, and delights in this or that, is abandoned. One's bodily and mental troubles are abandoned. One's bodily and mental torments are abandoned. One's bodily and mental fevers are abandoned. And one experiences bodily and mental pleasure.
See, the revolution takes place. The other side. It's clear, right? Any question? This is not a long discourse, only 3 pages.
Bhante, is this last part, because it's saying that the troubles are abandoned, and then at the end one experiences bodily and mental pleasure. Is this referring to like piti, like the
bodily and mental pleasure?
Like it's like
sukha.
The things are abandoned. Okay, so
sukha is like when you practice, when you see, when you understand things properly, you have insight, you have serenity. Serenity, insight both leads to cessation, right? Leads to your serenity, right? And then you can, if you leads to, you can go to enter the different jhana, jhanic bliss. You can experience jhanic bliss, and eventually you can experience nibbanic bliss also. Pleasure, the word pleasure is mental pleasure, is even the apex is the nibbanic bliss, nibbanic happiness or pleasure. All the pleasures, all the positive side. Yes?
When he mentions bodily and mental, is nama-rupa he's talking about?
Bodily mental means not necessarily nama-rupa, whatever the fatigue. That fatigue means we don't try to distinguish these two, nama, rupa, like that. But whatever feelings, whatever troubles, torments, both mental and physical, these are the 2 things, 2 sides, right?
Yeah.
When we talk about these 2.
Right, but he mentioned, why he makes a distinction between, he says, troubles, torments, and fever, I understand, is passion. But
Fever
would be passion, right? But why, is there a reason, a specific reason why he makes a difference? No, but he mentions separately troubles and torments.
Because these 3 types of feelings, 3 type of experiences, both the mental and physical. These are the 2 ways that we feel, right? We feel things either mentally or physically. So both are there. That is the meaning.
So
not necessarily nama rupa.
Yes, but so it's torments and troubles. It's like it's very specific. Because the sutta could be just troubles or torment. Why he mentioned troubles and torments? He has to do for internal and external? Or?
These 3 terms are quite similar. 3 terms given are quite similar terms. It's quite difficult to distinguish because like when you say Pali terms, that is why we want to understand Pali terms also. Daratha. Daratha is you have a particular feeling that like flaming inside.
Anxiety.
Flaming, exciting, heat inside.
Right.
Then santapa. Santapa means inside, actually inside. Santapa is you feel sort of pain pain, and also you want to do something, but you cannot express it within. Like when something happened, like suppose your mom died, then as a practitioner, you don't want to cry, but inside you cry.
Like
That is what.
longing.
Huh?
Like an internal longing.
Internal longing, yes, like that. Santapa. And then fever. Fever is not simply temperature, right?
Passion.
Parilaha, not passion.
No passion.
Not passion. Parilaha means again feeling like flame like.
So inside.
Parilaha, all around.
Okay.
Flaming all around. Parilaha means flaming all around. Pari means all around.
I see.
Paridaha becomes parilaha. Daha is flame. Daha is burning sensation, like all over burning. You want to accomplish something, but you can't do that.
So they are very similar.
Yeah. Yeah. What is the word?
Nothing.
You want to ask anything? Huh?
Also, the word dara is the word for white, which is
Dara?
kind of funny.
Dara?
Yeah.
This is Daratha.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, you are correct. That is Daraka. Daraka.
That's why they say happy wife, happy life.
Now they're blaming it on
Daraka, yeah, you are correct.
No, they're putting the responsibility
Daraka is a
on
word
men
for
because we're all-
children.
They're blaming it on the women. All these bad things. Women, wife.
No, the Buddha said women are also wise. They do many wise things. Otherwise, how Kema became the foremost of Vinaya? And other nuns, Kema, Uttara, Uppalavanna, Sujata, all these, how can they attain enlightenment?
No, I was just making a joke. I mean, there's all contradictions. So.
We should not try to see such differences.
No.
Oh, I know.
The work for bodily and mental torment or grief, you were talking about the santapa.
Yeah?
Is that santa alone is peaceful, or is that two words?
Santa, yeah, there is that meaning also. Santapa, you have to take.
The PA with the five.
PA means torturing. Tapa is to heat, torture. Santapa is, it is not blaming, but inside, normal. Santapa is, Santi is there. Santi, when you say Santi, that's peace. This is not when you say flaming, not like flame is going out. Internally, heating, burning, like inside burning. Santapa.
He develops by direct knowledge those things that should be developed by direct knowledge. He realizes by direct knowledge those things that should be realized by direct knowledge.
Okay. So, the view of a person such as this is right view. So this is the right view. This is the right view here means now his view is clear because through his six senses he knows and sees things as they actually are. That is what the Buddha expected from all of us. To see things as they really are. As they actually are. Yatha bhuta is very important word. Even the Pali term is important. You can write down that Pali terms also. Yatha Bhuta. Yatha, I divide it into two. The term is Yatha Bhuta. Yatha means as it is. Bhuta means become. Whatever becoming, whatever things happens as it is. That is the meaning. Yatha Bhuta. Bhuta means like there are two different meanings even. Ghosts are also called Bhuta. Hungry ghost? There is another meaning. But Bhuta simply means things come to be. Things come to be. You to understand how things come to be. That is the meaning. Yatha Bhuta. Yatha Bhuta Jnana Dassanam. There is a term. Yatha Bhuta Jnana Dassana. Yatha Bhuta Jnana Dassana comes as the result of concentration. According to Paticca Samuppada, Buddha said, when there is concentration, serenity, concentration, as things come to be, come to know as they are. Yatha Bhuta Jnana Dassana. That is according to the Paticca Samuppada, the dependent origination given in the Upanishad Sutta. Upanishad Sutta, the course. There's a discourse named Upanishad Sutta in the connected discourses. Upanishad means course, where the formulation is recited like Avijjupanisa Sankhara. Dependent on, it's the same meaning, but given term is Upanishad instead Paccaya. Buddha did not use the term Paccaya, but gave Upanishad. Avijjapanisa Sankhara. Sankhara Upanishad Vijnana. Vijnana Upanishad Nama Rupa, like that.
Bhante, can you just please elaborate just a little bit the part that it says, but his bodily action, his verbal action, and his livelihood have already been well purified earlier?
Yeah, let's come to that later.
Oh, okay.
We want to explain all these things. The view of a person such as this is right view. Now he has right view, because he has insight, of course. That is why he sees things as they are. That is his right view. Sammaditthi. His intention is right intention. Now his intention is right intention. What is right intention? When you say right intention, how the Buddha has explained right intention? Right intention is right, not right karma. Karma.
Hasn't he said that intention is karma?
Intention is karma. Yeah, that is another problem. Again, these are like translation.
Okay.
When you say intention here, Samma Sankappa. Pali term, if you know Pali term, you know that it is not karma.
Okay.
Sankappa. Sankappa is not karma. See? When we translate things, if we use such different terms, can you understand the difference? Pali term is Sankappa. Sankappa means thought. Thought, that is right thoughts, not right intention. Buddha said right, the intention is karma, that is right. What you said is right.
My question was...
Yeah, what is your question?
Yeah, direct knowledge is at Sampajana,
Direct knowledge is not sampajana. Sampajana is clear comprehension.
It's different.
It is different.
Okay.
We'll come to that.
Okay.
I know that it is there. When we come to that point, I will explain what it is, okay? Right intention, okay? His intention is right intention. His effort is right effort. Oh, well, right intention means what? According to the Eightfold Path, what do you mean by right intention or right thoughts? What are the right thoughts?
To see they are harmful to yourself and others, or they are helpful to yourself and others.
Buddha has defined this very clearly. Buddha has given the clear meaning.
Non-greed, non-hatred.
Thoughts of letting go.
Yeah,
Thoughts
renunciation.
of
See, like that. We too, when we know Dhamma, we come to study the suttas because we want to know Dhamma clearly. People can say many different things. Now you are not like that. This group should not be like that. Should not simply say something. Say something is okay, but that is not what the Buddha said. We have to point out this is what the Buddha said. Then finish. Nobody can argue on it. That is the different things. That is like concrete. Once the Buddha said something, that's it. That's it. That's period.
So what does he say about the right?
Buddha said, right intention means nekkhamma sankappa. Nekkhamma sankappa is giving up things, abandoning wrong thoughts, wrong ideas. Abandoning. Nekkhamma is eventually renunciation. That is called right renunciation. Right renunciation. So, renunciation, non-ill will, and non-cruelty. These three means right intention or right thoughts. You can use both these words. Since we find some places intention also, you can use this, either one. But make sure right intention or right thoughts means renunciation, non-ill will, that is metta, and then non-cruelty, that is karuna. Metta and karuna.
Pali word for the non-cruelty is ahimsa, right?
Ahimsa, yes. Ahimsa or ahimsa, you can use both terms, both the same, but two different. There are two different meanings. Ahimsa means non-cruelty and also innocent. Innocent, yeah. Both these meanings are there. Non-cruelty, renunciation, non-ill will, non-cruelty. Okay? Clear? Clear to you? Is it clear?
People say letting go.
Huh?
Do you think letting go, renunciation?
Yeah.
The same?
But letting go, when you say letting go, these are also, there are different levels of giving up, right? Now, people can simply share with others. That is also giving up. Share. Dana, like you can give things away. You can let things go away. These are why we use different terms, because there are different levels, different meanings. And also when it comes to the term dana, that is not simply give. It is like this, offering. That is what the Buddhists do. When Buddhists offer something, that is not simply giving. It is given to a virtuous person. First we offer the first portion of our dana to the Buddha. It is not like this. If you simply take the puja bowl and go just put it there, that's not dana, that is not offering. Offering is respectfully. That respect should be there. When you offer something to the Buddha or to a Sangha, to the monks, nuns, you have to do it respectfully. That is what is called offering. It is not simply giving, not abandoning, but offering. These are different levels. You have to understand those different levels also. So, that is giving up, renunciation. Like what the Buddha did, his great renunciation. It is not simply renunciation. It is called great renunciation. What is that? He renunciated his worldly life. When a person goes from home to the state of homelessness, that is what these monks did. Went forth. Went forth means go from home to the state of homelessness. That is called renunciation. Giving up.
But just as because of English and confusion, a lot of times when people hear renunciation, they think that means you become a monk. It's not just
Not necessarily. Not only that. Not only become a monk. Renunciation means not only become a monk. Renunciation is going. That's true. Going from worldly life to the unworldly life, noble life, spiritual life. That is one meaning. Renunciate is simply giving up. In this case, more mentally, right intention. Mentally, you have to give up wrong things. What are the wrong things? Samma ditti, samma sankappa. These are called samma sankappa. There are things called miccha sankappa. That is why there is samma sankappa. Wrong view also. You have to give up wrong view, wrong thoughts. What are the wrong thoughts? What are the wrong thoughts?
Wrong intentions.
Samma, miccha sankappa are vitakka, like thinking. The other day we talk about doubts, referring to the past, future, and the present. Such thoughts are called miccha thought, wrong thoughts. Those are to be cut off. Miccha thoughts. Vitakka and sankappa. Vitakka are to be cut off. Vitakka miccha thoughts. Sankappa are right thoughts. Is it? Yeah?
I understand the intention of non-ill will and cruelty. But how can one have an intention of renunciation? Or either you renunciate or you don't. So how can you have the intention to renunciate? Of thought.
Nekkhamma is renunciate, given up.
Nekkhamma.
Nekkhamma.
But how? So you have the thought of renunciation. So what kind of? That's the renunciation of a worldly life into homelessness.
In this case, that is why I said in this case mostly thoughts.
So not. So you can have the thought, but the action doesn't have to be automatic.
Yeah, because when you come to this point, you are renunciate.
Okay.
This
so you don't have the thought anymore. You actually are.
You are a renunciate.
Yes, I understand.
So you don't want to renounce at this level, because your view is clear. You have right view, right?
Right. Yeah.
If you have right view, you come to that level. We are talking about the Noble Eightfold Path.
Right.
Okay. His effort is right effort. what is the effort? Right effort according to the Noble Eightfold Path, how it is given?
The four right efforts.
4 right efforts. What are the 4 right efforts?
The 4 right efforts.
Can you remember?
To prevent unwholesome mind states from arising, to abandon unwholesome mind states that have arisen, to encourage wholesome mind states to arise, and to maintain and cultivate wholesome mind states that have arisen.
Oh, yeah, in brief, yeah. In brief. It's good. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Good memory.
Right?
Good
Yeah, it's
memory.
good memory. Yeah. Yeah, you have to abandon, you have to prevent, of course. Prevent unwholesome thoughts which have not yet arisen. You have to prevent such things. And secondly, you have to avoid what has arisen. Unwholesome thoughts arisen. You have to avoid that. And then you have to develop wholesome thoughts, good thoughts. And the fourth one is you have to maintain good thoughts. Those are called right thoughts. So when you know and see things as they are, your view is clear. View means understanding. Understanding is clear. Your intention is clear. It's right intention. Then your effort is right effort. Then his mindfulness is right mindfulness. Mindfulness. Since he has right mindfulness, he can see things as they are. Without mindfulness, how can he see? How can he see like that? Okay. His concentration is right concentration. What is right concentration? Buddha has very clearly defined what right concentration is. This is the difference between concentration in other faiths and Buddhism. There's a clear distinction. We have to understand that. Otherwise, Buddha he doesn't give us right concentration. There are wrong concentrations. Many people practice wrong concentration. The Buddha gave right concentration. How the Buddha has defined it? 4 jhanas are there, but how should you come to 4 jhanas? 4 jhanas are also there in other religions, other faiths. In the time of the Buddha, there were 62 isms, 62 faiths, different faiths. They all practice such things. So why did the Buddha introduce the 63rd? Oh, this is different. That is why we have to see Buddhism as a different religion. It is different thing. It is not really a religion, though. You have to see Buddhism differently. It is not the same basket. You cannot put all these things into the same basket, all the faiths. Buddha has taught us clear differences, clear things like 4 noble truths, dependent origination, paticca samuppada, dependent origination, 3 characteristics. Nowhere else you can find this. Nowhere else. That is why Buddha very clearly said in the Chula Sihanada Sutta, from the Majjhima Nikaya, Buddha very clearly said, it is because you do not find the Noble Eightfold Path in other religions, in other faiths. You do not find the first samana, the second samana, third samana, fourth samana. Who are these samana? The first holy person, who's that? Stream enterer. No stream enterers can be found anywhere else. No once returners. no once-returners, no non-returners, no arahants. Why? Religions, when they talk about religions, they have to believe a soul. That is the problem. As long as you believe a soul, since you believe that there is a permanent thing, soul means permanent thing, you believe a permanent thing, then how can you understand impermanence? How can you come to the conclusion that everything is impermanent? One thing is permanent. As long as you cannot understand that, you cannot come to the path as a stream enterer. If you cannot come to the path as a stream enterer, you cannot be a once-returner. If you cannot be a once-returner, you cannot be a non-returner. If you cannot be a non-returner, you cannot be an arahant. So these are 4 gradual process, gradual level.
So come to the right concentration.
Right concentration means?
No, which one?
That's what the Buddha taught in the Anapanasati Sutta. Is the right concentration, what, as he taught in the Anapanasati Sutta?
4 foundation, 4 mind.
No, the Buddha gave this in the Chattarisaka Sutta, Maha Chattarisaka Sutta, Great 40 Discourse.
But the concentration are the 4 foundation of mindfulness?
Concentration?
Right, you were saying right concentration. This is according to what we were reading.
Yeah.
That's right concentration.
Right concentration means concentration that we gain with the support of the first 7 factors of the Noble Eightfold Path.
Okay.
That is what is called right concentration. When you have right concentration, you have right concentration, you should have right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness. All these 7. Without these 7 factors, without the support of the 7 factors, no right concentration. That is the difference.
Thank
you. It is given in the Chattarisaka Sutta, Maha Chattarisaka Sutta. Okay, let's stop there, right? We can meet by your questions will be answered this afternoon, okay? Because when we come to that, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.